Mental health in men is a big topic, and honestly, it's one that doesn't get talked about enough in real practical ways.
A lot of men deal with stress, anxiety, or depression differently than women, often because of social expectations and how they've been taught to cope.
This episode, we don't have to debate. We can bring awareness and discuss. How do we help or see the signs?
If this discussion hits home with you, don't feel alone. It's very personal to me. We may talk about it, but most of all, just know that everything doesn't have to be a debate.
Yo, yo, yo.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time
It's time to
Tap in.
tap in.
to tap in.
Tap in.
Tap in.
Tap in.
To the
healthy
healthy
debate.
debate.
Welcome, everybody, to the Healthy Debate with Rock and Lady J, where real conversations get a little uncomfortable, but always necessary.
Today's topic, the one nobody talks about enough, men's mental health.
Who checks on the strong man, the provider, the one everybody leans on, but nobody asks if he's okay?
We're breaking down the silence, the stigma, and the truth behind why so many men are suffering quietly. Let's get into it.
Let's do it. All right, so this one is special to you, right?
It is. It is. For me, I grew up and saw it. I saw it happen in real time. And to watch someone go from being this spunky person to almost a shell of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It hits hard. It hits home. And it's just like, you want to fix it, but how do you fix something that you don't even know what's going on? You didn't know that it was happening.
Right.
You know, like for me, it's personal because my brother, you know, he suffers with mental health. And then I also have friends that have suffered with mental health and some that are no longer here. So when I say it's personal, it's personal. And I just need everybody to know that while, yes, everybody suffers from mental health, oftentimes it hits men harder. So check on those strong men that are the
Mm-hmm.
providers, the protectors, the ones that are always quiet and they tell you, no, I'm okay. Sometimes they're not okay, but they don't have that outlet.
Mm-hmm. Because we out there. We out there.
Definitely.
So let's talk about it. Why don't men talk? Why don't men talk?
I will tell you as a woman, oftentimes when men do feel that comfort to talk, when they finally do, it's weaponized against them. So they shut down. You have some men that were raised in a household where it's like men just do. They don't sit and talk and have all these emotions. That's for women.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of men are taught as boys, if you fall off your bike, you don't cry, you just get up and keep going. So it's like that man up culture. It starts really early. It starts as early as 5, I guess. I didn't pull up statistics because while yes, numbers are good to have, I'm going off experience.
Mm. Right.
There's that fear of judgment or appearing weak. I think, and I've heard this from a lot of men, being vulnerable, especially with those who they've trusted before, has turned negatively on them. And they feel like, I don't have nobody. It's just
Mm-hmm.
me against the world. And as someone who has felt that way before as a woman, just, you know, the little stuff as a woman. Imagine for men, they go out there, you all face everything. You walk out your door and there's a target on your back. You got to fight against the world. And then sometimes men don't get to go home to a safe space, comfort, to relax. They go home to a war zone.
Mm-hmm.
So I really think that in this society, in this world, in this culture, we need to create more safe spaces for men to have that outlet, to be able to talk amongst each other without judgment, without fear of being seen as soft or weak.
Mm-hmm.
And I've even heard when men have committed suicide that people say, oh, he was so weak, he just gave up. You know how strong you have to be to do that? And it
Right.
sounds weird to hear it, but they
Mm-hmm.
have to leave behind their families, their loved ones, their kids. It's a decision that they made. And while some people see it as selfish, if they feel like they back was against the wall and they had no way out, what else were they supposed to do?
Right.
The lack of emotional vocabulary. A lot of people want, or not people, a lot of women say, I want a man that's emotionally intelligent. How are you helping him become that? Did you tap into what he grew up from, what he's been through?
Mm.
Have you
Interesting.
asked those questions? Have you had those conversations? Because oftentimes we sit there and we expect a man to always be okay, always show up for us. When do we show up for them?
Mm.
Strong man.
Right. Right.
Who's protecting a man, period?
Yeah. See, I listen, men aren't always safe opening up, even with people they trust. We don't. We have a hard time doing it because, like you were saying earlier, it's so hard for a man to be vulnerable and feel like something's not going to be used against him as like a weapon, right?
Hmm.
Because a lot of women do that to men. I'm not saying all. I'm just saying a lot of them.
Yeah.
So when you do that to a man, like you're already trying to emasculate him, you're trying to demean him. You're really just and the guy, I'm telling y'all, a guy that's vulnerable and tells you these things, when you go ahead and manipulate that situation just the right way, yeah, that could mess a man up for real, for
Absolutely.
real. So I don't know.
But women are constantly asking men to open up. So, I mean, just asking you, Rock, what stops you from opening up?
Because I'm a little hesitant. I'm a little apprehensive. Because I'm the type of person I listen to I listen to the person I'm talking to or I want to talk to and engage with. I'm listening to what they're saying. I listen to how they approach and go about things. So mentally, if I feel I have a connection there, I'll open up to them and I'll share. But if there's any side of a doubt, I'm probably going to be a little bit more apprehensive to tell them really what probably is going on with me. And I feel like most men can resonate with that. You
Okay.
know, they're gonna watch to see how this person is, how they move, how they operate, or whatever. If you know, what I'm saying, if they're one of them people that love to gossip, you're probably not gonna tell this to somebody that loves to gossip.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because like, as soon as something happens, maybe she's going and airing you out to her friends or something. Yeah, no. Um, so yeah, we'll be very selective on who we're vulnerable with. 100%.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, I've seen that happen. Like, I know that I've talked to you about the lives that I used to have on TikTok and the
Hmm.
conversations. And, you know, like I said, this is very personal to me. And even knowing that in the live that I had before about men's mental health on TikTok, and to know that I saw a comment of someone that was ready to end it all, I completely stopped the conversation and asked people, hey, reach out to this person.
Hmm.
Men in here, reach out to this person right now. And we were able to get that person on the live, keep them from doing the unthinkable. And they're still here. They still come around. I still get to check up with them, you know. And I
Hmm.
check on that person periodically. Hey, how you doing? You good? How's your mental? You need to talk? You need anything? And it doesn't take but 30 seconds to send a text message.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
If even the president can make time to send a tweet, a text, a DM,
And you know that's gonna be on some bullshit. So
right?
if he got the time to send some bullshit, you got the time to send some
Exactly. It don't
some
take
acknowledgement.
nothing but 2 seconds to send a voice note. Hey, just checking on you. Press send. You never know the doors that might open, but don't do it out of routine. Do it because you actually care. Because you're actually going to be a listening ear. You're actually going to be there to support them. Because you never know what that person is going through, what their mental state is, what they're dealing with that you don't see. Because, yeah, it looks all
Right.
glamorous and people laughing and joking on social media. What's going on when they press that end button, when they not on that live? Do you know what's really going on? Because let's be honest, a lot of people out there use social media as an outlet from reality and
Right.
escape.
Right.
But when the lives are not popping, the friends are not there, and they alone with themselves, what's going on then?
That's a good question. It's a good question.
What's really happening? What's the conversation that they're having with themselves? Do you know if they're sitting there with that Russian roulette moment? Do they actually have a village of people that they can call or count on? Or are you that person that they're dependent on? Because in all honesty, the biggest lie that we tell is I'm okay.
It's a fact. Because when we say we're okay, we're not okay.
No.
Because if we were okay, we would say something else.
Exactly. And one of the biggest fakes that we do is asking a person, oh, how you feeling today? You know how many times a day I have to say that just on a call because that's my job? Now think about how many times people that you associate with on a daily basis ask you, what's going on with you today? And you be like, oh, nothing, I'm just chilling.
Right.
When in all actuality, you got 1,000,001 thoughts of how you don't want to be on this side of the grass.
Right. 100%.
So I had a question. It might be a little spicy here. Rock.
Sure.
Do men actually want to talk, or do they just want to be left alone with their problems?
First of all, it depends on the man. And secondly, it depends on the gravity of the problem. So if there's a problem that is not extremely bad, or you can't get through, or you can get through by yourself, we probably want to be left with that problem. But in all actuality, I think we want to talk, but we have to be comfortable too.
So do you think like you have to be coaxed into opening up, or is it when you have that safe space with a person, that comfortability and knowing that they're not going to use it against you?
I mean, I think from, well, I can't say I can think for these guys, but I think for the first time I was comfortable with being vulnerable, I was approached by the person I was talking to, and they appeared to make it feel like it was safe to let them know what I was thinking. Right. But later on, they end up using it against me in a discussion. So I feel like at that point, I kind of lost the will to say anything to the person, just to avoid any further, let's say, demeaning or whatever. So, and what's crazy too is that it's not just situations like this too. Men will talk about pretty much anything, but sometimes people that they're talking to, right, will make a big deal out of what they're saying to them. You should be happy that their man is talking to you. Like if this man is telling you stuff about his day or what he's going through, and then now you're questioning, be happy he's talking to you. Because if he wasn't talking to you, that's when you should probably really question what's going on with them. And that's and essentially that's what ends up happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when they don't feel safe to talk to the person, then they close off and they start not talking to the person for real or saying anything. Now that person's either worried about them or thinking that they're doing something.
And even though this isn't about relationships right now,
Mm-hmm.
as a woman, and I'm guilty of it, I've had moments where I'm like, what's going on? Why are you not talking?
Mm-hmm.
And nah, I'm just dealing with something right now, or I just got a lot going on. And a lot of women won't admit it, but they think that a lot going on is another woman, when in all actuality, they fighting the whole war in their head.
Mm-hmm. Talk
And
about it.
and you haven't created that safe space. And I know for a fact that there's been times where I made the safe space not so safe because of my me-mindedness. And when you sit back and recognize, dang, in that moment, I should have, could have, would have
Right.
done this, but I was all about self. So I didn't see that while my person was going through something, I added to that plate instead of helping take away or carry that load.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, it's okay to be his peace and help create peace. Add to his peace. Don't take away from it.
No.
Because you could be the
Don't
straw
do
that
that.
breaks the camel's back.
That's a fact. So what'd you think? Therapy or tough it out?
Therapy.
There's a stigma. There's a stigma there.
There is a stigma among men with therapy. I will tell you, for me, I'm not one that says that therapy absolutely helps 100%, but it does help a little, because sometimes we forget how to compartmentalize or to break things down. Maybe grab a notebook. Hey, this is what I'm thinking. This is the action plan. And talking to somebody that's like neutral, they don't know. They don't know the characters that's at play. It can actually help to level that playing field and say, okay, I can attack this way. I can go about it this way. I can do this, because it helps. But then you also have to think about it. Is it the person's pride that's getting in the way of their healing?
I mean, yes, because I can personally say that I revere therapy. Think therapy is absolutely necessary. I've been twice, one for a very long period of time. I learned a lot about myself, learned about a lot of things that I had still unresolved with my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And once I resolved those issues with my mom and my therapist helping me through, there was a whole new perspective on how I deal with situations, my own personal situations when dealing with people I'm with. Because I think that definitely affected. I think the relationship I have with my mom affected how I was with women and how she treated me. So it's a little bit different, right? So, but luckily for me, I had two other women in my life, my grandmother and my eldest cousin, who actually raised me to, they balanced it out.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they were both gone. So the only person I have left was my mom. So I learned a lot in that time frame. But I definitely would tell people, especially men, go and get the help. It's good not knowing the person you're telling stuff to, because they don't have to have a bias.
Right.
Right? So there's no bias there. That means the information is neutral.
Absolutely.
So I definitely would tell people, get the help.
So do you think it's a generational mindset in the differences in how things are approached? Because I'll say this. I have two teenage sons, and my oldest was like, I want to talk to a therapist. And I asked my youngest, especially for grief counseling after losing our grandmother,
Mhm.
I said, do you want to talk to a therapist? Like, no, I'm cool. I read my Bible and I sit with myself and I process it. I'm like, you're not alone. You can talk to me. You have a village. You have the men's group. You have this. Like, I set them up to be able to go to other people outside of me. You know, unfortunately, their parents it's a different dynamic. However, I made sure that they have men that they could talk to.
Right.
And so my oldest, he benefited from it. He enjoyed it. And she was like, "You're good. You're good to go, but you're welcome to come back whenever you're ready." And the man therapist said, "You're good to go whenever you're ready again, or if you need to talk, you have my number." So I think the stigma stems from the past because, of course, there weren't as many resources back then as there are now. It wasn't
Mm,
talked about. It was so taboo. It's like, oh, it's not for black people. That's a white people thing. No, it's a human thing. Everybody goes through things.
okay. So can't do the healthy debate without a debate moment. So some men don't need therapy. They just need peace.
No,
And
they absolutely need therapy.
no, I'm saying some men don't. Some men don't. And let me tell you those some men who them some men are. Those some men, somebody's gonna take this clip and be like, did this guy say some men? This some men, okay, are men that haven't experienced the toxicity of a questionable relationship. That came in fresh, like ready to go.
They still need therapy from family.
That we don't know that. We're making the assumption. I'm talking about a person. This person that's coming into the situation is coming into it with good intentions.
Hmm.
I'm not saying male or female. I'm just saying the person is coming into it with good intentions. Now, the men that, let's say, they were raised well or whatever, however, the person they're talking to might be a little bit different when put into certain situations. It's a
Hmm.
female, okay? So something happens, and all of a sudden, that person that has never experienced any turmoil in their life whatsoever, now they feel boxed in. Why is this woman yelling? Why is she doing this? Why are we acting up? They don't know. They don't have the experience of any of that traumatic stuff that happened from the past, childhood, or previous relationships. This is fresh. There's plenty of men that go into it on a good note, not knowing the person that they are.
It's messed up.
They don't know. So they don't know. So
Is that just avoidance dressed up as strength, though?
not necessarily. It could be. It could be, but in this scenario, no, because you know what I'm saying. They're living right now on the unicorn circuit. Okay, they're all this is
And we know that's
butterfly,
a fallacy.
right? But butterflies is everywhere. Like these people are, and then
They
you don't.
tripping off those mushrooms. That's what they doing. So I got a question for our audience. If you're out there listening, which I know you are, tap in with us, leave a comment, stitch, post, repost, tag us, make sure, but answer this question if you can. Would you date someone who refuses therapy but clearly needs it?
Ooh, put it in the box. Y'all leave comments down there.
Yeah,
If you're on TikTok, follow us at TikTok. That will be down in the bottom as well.
absolutely. YouTube, make sure you leave that comment. Share it out to somebody else. Like, how often do you see people really having these conversations and actually wanting people to engage in the conversation? We want that. We definitely need it because although this big head man get on my nerves, I'm here for him.
Right?
If he going through something, he know he can call me and talk to me. I might talk
Facts.
about him. I might get on his nerves a little bit, but I'm gonna hear him out and I'm gonna look for whatever resources I can to help him. So
And I'm probably going to debate against her why the resources she found for me aren't suitable for my needs. But
more than likely, but in the end, he
yeah,
gonna whisper, "You was right." So
right, maybe,
it'd be all right.
maybe. Y'all catch how I don't always say she right?
He be saying it with his eyes because he be like, "Really, you know,
Listen.
just watch the eyes. It's all in the eyes."
Listen, we're not talking about me. We're talking about everybody else out there, right? So let me tell you right now, I think men suffer from the pressure to provide sometimes too. It's crazy.
I actually agree with that because it's a lot of pressure out there. Like
It is.
men
It is.
tie identity to money and success.
They do.
Why though? Is it because of what women say? Because oh well, back in the day, grandpa used to take care of grandma and she never had like these
But
times the house ain't $71 no more. It's
right,
$70,000.
right, and nobody's worried about wearing. Nobody's worried about walking around with designer purses and name brand joints, and I gotta have the Dolce and Gabbana, so I gotta wear the red bottoms. None of that shit happened back in the day.
Gucci you got on?
No, this is not Gucci. This is something else. No Gucci. I do got the chain on though. It looks nice, but no, this is something else. This is very comfortable. This is my nightwear.
Okay, all right.
I might go outside when it's cold and jog in this. It's like a long sleeve and everything. Look at this.
Yeah. Okay, it look comfortable.
Very comfortable. Very.
You like that Christmas sweater that you wear because grandma bought it for you. So.
Shots, yeah. Shots.
I mean, I like a grandma sweater. Don't get me wrong.
Nah, but it do look like one though, right?
It does.
It do look like one, like with all this, the weird, you know what I'm saying, the way it looks. And she stayed up until 2 a.m. every day making this.
Yeah.
All right, leave my sweater alone.
All right. So the financial struggle equals an emotional breakdown.
It can.
Have you ever experienced that yourself? Like
what? There's people that know about my struggles in real life. Not everybody knows about my struggles in real life. And this shit just happened. I'm telling you that it just happened. Life was good. And then life be lifing. And there's probably one person that's afforded to know what happened, So yes, I broke down. I even went back to church. I'm telling y'all. When I tell you that, I went back to church. I wrote down all of the stuff that I was dealing with on a piece of paper. I put the Bible over that piece of paper, prayed on it. Psalms 35. I'm not lying to y'all. This really happened. And I've been doing it religiously. No pun intended. So, yeah, we will break down. We will break down.
And
emotional roller coaster is crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. And that equates to the silent stress of responsibility, right?
100%. 100%. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't be understanding. There's some people that afford it. Like, I mean, I've had a great life. You know what I'm saying? I was straight. People. I was straight. And then life be life. You just never know what's going to happen.
About you saying it like that, but somebody else will leave it in the comments.
Oh, my God. They know what I mean by that. Okay, I was good.
You put it out though.
Yeah, rock was good. Okay.
There we go.
But yeah, life is crazy. So yeah, we definitely battle with the, there is a silent stress. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to responsibility.
So question, is the provider role toxic or necessary?
Both.
How is it both? It's either one or the other.
Is it?
Yeah. I think the provider role is toxic.
But I also think the provider role is necessary.
Why is it necessary?
Because.
And we're talking about men alone here. Don't include like.
I think it's necessary. Do I like just doing it by myself? Absolutely not. But I do think it's necessary because at at the end of it all, like, both people can be doing what they need to do, right? Both people can be doing what they need to do, but having him be able to be that part when you really need it, it's a big deal. Because if anything can happen and could be gone, right? So the provider role is necessary because if something happens to that person, who's providing? Oh, at this point, it's necessary. It wasn't toxic, in my opinion.
So here's where I have a question about it, right? So when we hear the word or the term provider, a lot of people equate provider to financial, but provider is not just financial.
No, it's not.
And that's why I say it's toxic, because oftentimes, how often have you scrolled social media and you hear the conversations where women say, I have to have a man that provides for me. But provides what? Financial stability. Well, you can do that on your own, equality, women's rights, and all of that. But they're not looking for a man that can provide security, safety, open arm, shoulder to lean on, ear to listen. They're not looking to be a provider either. It's you're either providing for me or you're not in my life. I want to be able to be a provider to my man, to be able to tell him, hey, it's okay. You don't have to do it by yourself. I understand that you're a man. I'm not trying to step on your toes, but let me provide this to you. Let me provide some peace. Let me provide some clarity. Let me provide some help.
I'm going to tell you another reason why, though. This is my secret gem. I think it's essential and it's necessary because if that person doesn't feel that it's necessary, they're probably going to be lackluster. They're gonna probably be stagnant, right? And it allows them to do less and be less. So even if they're in an environment where both people are working and helping, you should still feel like you're the provider, like that you're able to step out and do the stuff that typically is not associated to what you and your person are doing together. If that makes sense. But so it might be something that like that person can't handle, that you need to take care of. You're providing that. If that person needs something done, it doesn't have to be monetary. If something needs something done, you're providing that.
Yeah.
Right? If that person needs to feel safe in their home or you're providing that. So it's necessary in my eyes that it's not just monetary. I encompass it all together. I think the provider role is necessary because I think we'll spin around on this. I will spin the block on this shit at some point when we talk about like intimacy on this podcast. This is a very, very that ties in.
100%. I can't wait till we get to that episode. Ooh, you know how I feel about that one. So
listen, I don't know. I have a feeling we're gonna agree on that one. I just do. Horns. So alpha horns. So I think yeah. So that's the only reason why I think that it's necessary. So I do see. Okay, there's a small part of me that agrees with the toxicity part of it because of the stigma and the stereotypes and what people see and what they hear and what like societal women today come out. What is it? These reality TV shows and all that. You see this is what they're doing. So yeah, that part of it is toxic. These rapping chicks on songs. I need a 6-figure. Right. Yeah. It's toxic.
But does provision,
because you don't need a 6-figure dude. You're making money yourself.
Exactly. But does provision always have to be monetary? Does it always have to be one-sided? Does it always have to equate to it being a man? Like, for instance.
No. In a relationship, we're talking about men.
Yeah, I know. However, if I'm in a relationship and I see that my man is going through mentally, he's all over the place. As a woman, I can be a nurturer and a provider because duality exists, right? We talk about it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I could provide that safe space, that comfort, that taking a little bit of that heavy load away and making sure, okay, you need to rest your mind right now. Let me handle this.
Mm.
But does that equate to demasculating a man or emasculating a man?
Emasculate them, yeah. Yeah, we might have to tackle that on a whole nother. I feel like that's a 50-minute conversation.
I mean, it can be. So we can move on. We can move
It's a
on.
lot. It's a lot.
So just having a real talk moment. If a man can't provide, does he lose respect automatically?
I don't know if it's automatically, but it is over time.
But
It
why?
is over time because I'm gonna tell you why. Because expectations weren't set at the beginning of this situation. I don't know if it's a situationship, relationship, entanglement, whatever you want to call it nowadays, right? The expectation wasn't set. And I don't mean expectations like, again, the realistic ones. Because most women that know what they want, they're going to say that from the beginning. Can you provide? Are you a provider? Like, again, we're talking about the toxic ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're going to say that from the beginning. So do you think they're going to lose respect if he can't do it?
I mean, they're going to not respect them in the beginning either way. But let's say, all right, you get that and I'm talking to the women, you get that 6-figure nigga, as y'all like to call him, but I call him a man. And look at what's happening with the economy right now. I know people that have government jobs that make 6 figures, and with the shutdown, they're furloughed. They're not getting any money. Are you just gonna leave that man because he can't provide right now? Most women will. They go cheat. They go find somebody else to get on
They're
top.
going to find somebody that going to fall right
But
into
that's
place
a
with them.
problem.
Of course it is.
And that just shows the lack of respect that you have for yourself and for this person that you say you so-called love unconditionally. And that adds on to the mental stress.
Yeah, but we don't know that it's happening. We don't know what's happening. But again, like I said, no, look, we don't know what's happening. But all I said was, if the man said that he can handle it, and this expectation was set at the beginning, and he can't handle it, he's gonna lose respect. And she's gonna go find what he's not gonna be able to give her elsewhere. Because that's how society looks at things. This is how people were meant to be. Now I'm not talking about all women. I want y'all to be clear. I'm not talking about all women. I'm just saying a small percentage of them. That's what they do. Yeah. So at that, and the crazy thing is too, like I said, that person probably never went through any type of mental health situation in their life until now. Right. So those women are also responsible for changing how men act towards y'all.
Exactly.
So,
and let me just be one to speak up. I'm sick of y'all asses. Y'all ignorant. Y'all are scum. Matter of fact, y'all are the recipe to the Chum Buckets burgers.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
Okay, moving on.
Oh, look. You're going to have a lot of people that like to hate you and hate to love you.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm used to it.
Right.
I'm used to it. It's okay.
That's crazy.
Loneliness hits different for men.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Men, listen. First of all, when we lonely, we have fewer emotional friendships when we lonely.
Not trying to make a joke of it, but LL did say, when I'm alone in my room,
at the wall, and at the back of my mind, I hear my conscience call, telling me I'll find a girl that's as sweet as a dove for the first time in my life. I say I need love. Boom, boom, boom. Yo,
this ain't karaoke night.
Listen, yeah, no, for real. We tend to isolate ourselves for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that we don't like go out and do stuff or whatever, but like we will isolate ourselves to a certain degree, right?
Well, why? Especially if you're in a relationship, why?
No, we were talking about how loneliness hits different for men.
Yeah, but when you're feeling lonely, why do you isolate instead of actually being around that one person? And I'm sorry, y'all, I might lag a little, but
I don't. That's a really hard thing to answer because it's going to be different for everybody. So if I was to see myself isolate, I typically isolate from situations like that when I'm feeling lonely because I feel like I'm might be asking for too much.
so do you feel like you're getting in the way, you're being a burden instead of a help?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So like if I'm at that point, I'd rather distance myself and just do me. If I got to be in my thoughts, if I got to read a book, whatever it is, I will do that. And you go get some gaming in or something, go for a walk, you know, talk to my auntie.
Talk
You
to
know,
your auntie.
everybody got that one auntie that they talk to. I got a whole
I
bunch of
like the
them.
way you say that, your accent.
Auntie, my
Yeah.
auntie. Yeah, that's that Louisiana and that auntie. But
You ain't have to bring up that state, but okay.
well, I can't help it. Shout out to my family in Baton Rouge. Love y'all.
Oh Lord. And then it is Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're gonna have to have a conversation after this because
I ain't got nothing to do with that.
I might have to quit.
Listen, it's all good. Look, one of these days y'all can get a little background on all of us because my family grew up in Clinton, Louisiana. For anybody that knows where Clinton, Louisiana is, that was where when Abraham Lincoln did the whole Emancipation Proclamation. This is where the war was going on when it actually started or when it ended. It's Clinton, Louisiana. That's where my family is from. My father, my grandmother, my grandfather, and all my uncles and aunts. Like that's where they came from. Little shacks in the country. You know what I'm saying? So
not little shacks in the country. This ain't background night, and we just
go. Oh, see that shot, y'all. Y'all see how she did me?
It ain't a shot. It's just I wanna keep the conversation rolling.
It's okay. Look, son, you try to throw shots at my BR, so it's all good. All right. So what else? What you got? What else you got?
Do you prefer to have surface level conversations or deep connection?
I'd rather have deep connection.
So during those lonely moments, you rather have deep connection?
I would, but if I don't feel comfortable, if I don't feel like I can have a deep connection, then like surface level connection do me just fine.
So what does a safe space look like for a man, for a woman to provide?
Oh.
Ladies, I'm trying to get y'all some intel.
Listen, what does a safe space look like for a woman to provide? Provide what?
Like, how does a woman provide a safe space for you?
How
is that created? What does that look like?
So, I can't speak for every man, but for me, it looks like we're in sync. It looks like you stay connected with me. We talk consistently. If we're afforded to be in the same home, intimacy is nonstop. So that's even around people. And I don't have to say that to make it sound weird, but for people that know what I mean, you know what I mean. Like you're constantly letting that person know that they're on your mind. And you can do it in ways where it's not creepy around people, So yeah, like intentional in the ways that your person needs to be.
Yeah.
So it could be a slew of things. It could be a slew of things. But I tell you what, it's not going to be disrupting my peace. That's not going to work. Like it's not going to work at all. Disrupting my peace or not making it peaceful is crazy work. Absolutely crazy work. we will not. We just won't. It won't work. It won't work. I will not say anything.
Okay.
I don't like to argue as it is. Right?
Got it.
Right? I don't like to argue. That's why this is called a healthy debate. I'll debate the hell out of you, but I'm not going to argue with you.
I could make you argue with me.
You're not going to do it because I'm literally at some point I'm like, you got it. Shit, what's next? I'm not. Look, but again, like I'll debate all day, but I'm not one of those people to argue because arguments only mean it's one sided.
True.
Most of the time, an argument is one sided, and that person is like super passive aggressive or argumentative or loud. Right?
That's so true.
So the conversation is not being received.
Is it
the receptors are not working? Huh?
Is it even considered a conversation?
Right. It's not. It's not. It's an argument. It's a screaming match. Most of the time, the person gets screamed at. Do you think that they're receiving and absorbing all that information? No. They're catching it in sound bites because all they hear is shh. It's like white noise.
I hear a Charlie Brown teacher, wah, 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 wah.
Right. But imagine you having a debate right here, right? If my voice sounds the way it is right now, I'm very mellow. I'm very chill. So most of the time when I say or talk like this, anything, it's going to be received.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I was going to be like, yo, Lady G, I can't freaking stand like every time. I'm like, you stopped listening after I said your name.
Huh?
See? That's what I'm saying. So I don't need
like,
the crazy
for real,
space.
when you started yelling, I immediately checked out.
Try to tell you.
Nobody paid. Talking to?
Nobody trying to listen to that.
Look, I had a conversation with somebody, and I asked them a simple question. I didn't ask in a mean way or anything like that. And that person hit me with first of all, you got me all the way messed up because who you talking to? Who you talking to? But let's keep it rolling. So this one with loneliness, it hits me in a different way because I've experienced it in relationships with men, and I don't understand it fully. Although I do try my best to understand why it happens, but isolation, even in relationships. Okay. Like you're in a relationship, you have a partner, you have somebody that you're supposed to be able to go and talk to, lean on, and let them know what's going on with you.
Okay.
But instead, you go into what your comfort is, and that's isolation. But it's pushing that other person away or making them feel like they're not needed, wanted, or even valued or a priority in your life. So for women, of course, we see it differently, but what does that look like for a man? Have you ever isolated while being in a relationship?
Yes.
And what does that look like?
I did it last year, and the relationship was over. But I did it on purpose. Listen.
You know how much trauma that causes?
For who? For me?
For the woman.
The woman earned that. I didn't. So if you know the story, if you knew the story, then you would understand, right? But again, I'm a person who cannot be dismissed. If I don't dismiss you, don't dismiss me. Like, again, I need to be afforded anything that you have to say to me. Say it to me. But once you dismiss me, you ghost me, or you decide not to talk to me for however long you want to do it, it doesn't make any sense for me to be all up in your space. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. Because any emotionally mature person would have talked to me when they were supposed to talk to me. So if I have an issue and I don't bring it up, that makes me a sucker. Okay? Now, if I have an issue and I isolate myself, I don't talk to you all week, and I decide to bring it up after a week or two, you're not going to respect that. Now, you just went through a week or 2 weeks worth of turmoil trying to figure out what's going on and being in your head, and then all of a sudden I told you this, and you're just like, you couldn't tell me that 2 weeks ago?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, no. I am a person that pays attention, and I'm always right. I'm always right in those situations. I may not have what I need in the moment, to know that I'm right, but I know I'm right. And then I find out later that I was right. Never fails. It just happened before we went live.
Okay.
Did it not?
It did.
Okay. So when I tell you, I just pay attention. I know when the expiration date has hit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think most people know, but sometimes we extend our stay. But again, that's a different topic for a different day. So let's keep the conversation going. I know this topic alone can be a 2 or 3 parter, but let's try to get through it.
All right. So here's what I think. I think men don't check on each other like that.
So why don't y'all create those spaces for each other?
So for myself, I've tried that with some of my male friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. After getting, what I felt like was much needed help, doing what I had to do, I wanted to provide that safe space for my brothers. I do have a group. I do have a chat group on WhatsApp between me and my closest friends,
Mm-hmm.
because one of them is across seas, so we don't get to see them as often. So that's our way of communicating with us in a circle. So we chat on often. But for the people that are in my city, I'm constantly sending them messages throughout the week, like, yo, mental health check. How's everything going, my bro?
Mm-hmm.
And out of the 10 people I send it to, 2 people respond. Right? So again, we don't talk to each other like that. So what I do is I talk to the people that afford me their time and responses. That's who I talk to. Because I can't, you know what I mean? If I have to, if I need somebody to talk to, those are the people I talk to.
Makes sense.
So, but I only have besides my brothers, my group of 4, right? I got 2 people that I'll talk to if something's going on. And sometimes I only talk to one of them, because the other person, when you tell him, so you got something going on, his approach is not what a person would need to hear.
Okay.
So again, there's the reasons why we don't check on each other like that.
So are women the only emotional outlet for men? And is that fair?
It depends on the situation. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. But we would like y'all to be. Right? We would like for y'all to be the only emotional outlet for us. And it should be fair. And you know why it should be fair? Because we're your emotional outlet.
That's true. And you know what? I like referencing a lot of movies. Fences, for instance, right?
Good one.
The part where he was talking to his best friend and he explained what led him to cheating on his wife. He mentioned being able to just kick back and laugh wholeheartedly with the other woman and not worry about the stresses of life at home, because she created a space for him to just relax. And oftentimes in relationships, marriages, that's not created in the home. It's just the house that he has to go to. So he's still fighting a war even after he came outside, fighting a war against the world. So women, listen up. When the man is telling you, can you just be my peace? Create that space. Otherwise, another person will.
I think this is a 2-part special.
I think so too.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's a 2-part special. I think there's so much to tap in on this specific thing. Like we're not gonna be able to do it. I don't want to skip nothing. I think it's a 2-part special.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you. 100%.
Yeah. So with that, I think we are going to stop there.
Yeah.
I just want to remind everybody, at the end of the day, mental health doesn't have a gender, but the way we experience it does.
If you're the strong one, just know you deserve support too.
This was The Healthy Debate with Rock and Lady J, where we keep it real, raw, and unfiltered.
So make sure you like, comment, and share, because somebody out there needs this conversation. And for the people that need help, At the end of this video, I'm going to put something else for you. All right. So until the next episode, check y'all
Peace.
later. If you're feeling like you're in danger or thinking about harming yourself, you don't have to handle that alone. In the U.S., you can reach help right away. Call or text 988. Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, available 24/7. You can also chat via 988lifeline.org. If you feel in immediate danger, call 911 or go to the nearest emergency room. You ever sit around and think, man, I would love to record my thoughts right now?
It's 2:17 a.m. You've got something to say, but nobody's awake to hear it.
Good, because now you don't need them to be.
Welcome to Async Podcast Studio, where conversations don't wait and creativity doesn't clock out.
Record your part whenever you want. Your co-host jumps in later. Guests add their voice from anywhere in the world.
No scheduling headaches, no missed calls, no, can you hear me now?
Just clean audio, seamless syncing, and a podcast that builds itself piece by piece.
It's not live, it's not delayed, it's on your time.
Because the best conversations don't happen on a schedule. Visit async.com right now, sign up, and get your podcast going.